Scottish Terriers look like little gentlemen in dog form, dignified, distinguished, and perfectly behaved companions straight out of a storybook. That's the illusion. In reality, you're getting a stubborn, sharp-witted, furniture-stealing, garden-digging powerhouse packed into a small, bearded body. They'll charm you, frustrate you, and somehow still convince you they're always right. So before you fall for the eyebrows and the swagger, here are 9 things no one tells you about owning a Scottish Terrier. Number 1. The Scottish standoff. When "come here" really means "convince me." Ever tried negotiating with a toddler who just learned the word no? Welcome to life with a Scottish Terrier. They definitely heard you, but whether they respond depends entirely on what's in it for them. A command isn't taken as an order. It's treated as a suggestion, subject to review and, quite often, rejection. Call them over, and you'll often get the canine equivalent of "maybe later." Ask them to drop that prized stick, and you'll need to sweeten the deal with something more valuable than, well, a muddy piece of wood. But believe it or not, this isn't rebellion. It's classic Scotty reasoning. As one owner put it, "My Scotty mix is such a good boy, but the selective listening is unreal. Sometimes he even talks back like a grumpy little human child." Training a Scotty isn't about forcing obedience. Rather, it's about patience, persistence, and outsmarting a dog who thinks he's the CEO of your household. You don't break their will, you bargain with them. Number 2. They own you, not the other way around. Bring a Scottish Terrier home and you'll quickly realize it's their house. You're just paying the bills. They colonize chairs, claim laps, and patrol the sofa like it's a national border. That favorite spot you once treasured quietly dissolves under the weight of a bearded snout and a very unimpressed stare. Before long, you're rearranging cushions, buying an extra dog bed, and removing your shoes from their rightful throne. An owner summed it up. "You're about to learn that your favorite chair is no longer yours. You're no longer in charge of anything, and you'll soon be mesmerized by the charm and wit of these almighty beasts. They're magicians too. With nothing more than a soul-piercing snare, they'll have you performing tricks like fetching treats on command." Scotties demand attention with the slow, steady confidence of royalty. They don't bark orders. They simply look at you until you comply. In the end, you're left with a tiny tyrant who fills your home with an oversized personality. Sure, you could resist, but honestly, why would you? Number 3. The earth dog instinct and the death of your garden. Don't be fooled by that dignified beard and stately stance. Beneath it beats the heart of a miner. Scotties were bred to tunnel after badgers and foxes, and that ancient job description hasn't gone away. Put one in a backyard and you'll quickly discover their favorite pastime: excavation. To a Scotty, your perfectly raked flower bed is an art. It's opportunity. A small hole here, a crater there. It's not vandalism, it's heritage. They're convinced treasure, or at least something wonderfully smelly, is always just beneath the surface. As one owner warned, "They're diggers, so make sure your fences are secure. And if you have a backyard garden like I once did, it's now officially the Scottish excavation site." And it's not just dirt they're after. A darting squirrel? The strong prey drive baked into their DNA means a Scotty will launch after it without a second thought, leash or no leash. So what's the solution? Channel the instinct. Give them a designated digging pit, sturdy fences, yes, underground too, and outlets for their endless curiosity. They're not misbehaving. They're just Scotties being Scotties. Number 4. The grumpy old man routine. It's not personal, it's just their face. Every breed has a trademark look. For the Scottish Terrier, it's the permanent scowl, like a Victorian grandfather silently judging your taste in music. With their heavy brows and intense gaze, Scotties often appear to be deep in disapproval, even when they're perfectly content. You could be handing them their favorite treat and still get a face that screams, "This doesn't impress me." But that's the trick. The expression almost never matches the mood. Behind that dour mask lives a playful, affectionate dog who just happens to look like he's pondering tax policy. One owner summed it up brilliantly, saying, "Stubborn, grumpy, and distinctly Scottish, which, let's be honest, also describes half the cast of Braveheart. What really sells the grumpy old man act is the commentary. Ask a Scottie to do something they'd rather not, and you'll hear the sighs, groans, and under-the-breath mutters of a teenager dragged out of bed. So don't mislead the scout. A wagging tail or a goofy bounce is the real story. But that serious face? That's just part of the package. Number 5. The one-person wonder. Some dogs spread that affection around like free samples at your local Costco. And yes, we're looking at you, Golden Retrievers. But Scottish Terriers? Not a chance. They invested it all into one person. And once chosen, that bond runs deeper than the North Sea. Everyone else in the family will get polite acknowledgement, a wag here, a sniff there, but their true devotion belongs to their favorite human. Oh, and don't think this devotion is a small thing. These little shadows will follow you from room to room, curl at your feet like a living slipper, and stand guard by the door until you return. In fact, one owner described it best, saying, "When I left to work in the hospital, my Scottie waited at the front door for days. On night shifts, she guarded my door while I slept. The kids came home, but she refused to leave her post." This loyalty is touching, but it comes with challenges. Their attachment can make long absences hard on them, leading to separation anxiety. Still, for those who value being truly cherished, a Scottie's love is unmatched. They don't just adore you, they devote themselves to you quietly and completely. Number 6. Scotties and the grooming gauntlet. Picture this. You've got the brush in one hand, a pocket full of treats in the other, and your Scottish Terrier staring back like you just announced bath time in public. That's grooming with a Scottie. Their wiry, low-shedding coats may sound like easy maintenance, but the reality is closer to a weekly duel. It's not just baths they resist. Nail trims, brushing, even professional grooming can spark full-scale negotiations. One owner summed it up with a laugh, saying, "Every groomer I have ever used said my Scotties were the nicest they've ever met. They also said Scotties are usually jerks." The truth is, Scotties simply don't like being fussed over. Their independent streak makes them bristle at the idea of being handled, and their dense coat mats fast if you slack off. Early, positive grooming sessions can help, but some Scotties never lose their trademark grumble. That said, do whatever you can to find a patient groomer who gets Scottie personality. Yes, it's a gauntlet, but the payoff? A sharp, distinguished-looking companion. Number 7. The health curveballs of a Scottish Terrier. Scotties may look tough in their bearded little armor, but under that rugged exterior, they can be surprisingly delicate. This breed is predisposed to a handful of health problems that can catch even seasoned dog owners by surprise. Bladder cancer is unfortunately more common in Scottish Terriers than in most other breeds. Add in allergies that lead to itchy skin and ear infections, Scottie cramp, a neurological condition that triggers sudden muscle spasms, and von Willebrand's disease, a bleeding disorder. And you start to understand why owning a Scottie sometimes feels like earning a minor in veterinary medicine. One owner shared, "You look up the major health problems because you're going to be the expert on their breed. I once told my vet I thought my Scottie had bladder cancer. He said that's rare. It's probably stones. After surgery, he called me, shocked. It was a mess. I knew because I knew the breed." Not every Scottie will face these issues, but being proactive, informed, and vigilant is key. And when challenges do come, Scotties meet them with the same stoic determination they bring to everything else. Number 8. Scotties navigate the world on their terms. Golden Retrievers throw themselves at strangers like long-lost friends. Scottish Terriers, on the other hand, size people up like a bouncer at the club. I wouldn't call them shy, they're just selective. You have to earn their approval, but once you have it, it means something. That's why early and steady socialization is so important. Without it, the Scottie's natural skepticism can tip into wariness of people, of dogs, of new situations. One owner offered this advice: socialize your baby early. The neighbors, other friendly dogs, the kids, lots of kids. You'll have a very friendly and loving companion who will deal well with the world on walkies. If left unchecked, their "I know best" attitude can really make dog parks tense. The goal isn't to turn them into extroverts, but to help them navigate the world politely and confidently. A well-socialized Scottie handles new experiences with confidence, carrying themselves with that unmistakable Scottie dignity. Number 9. Scottish Terriers are tiny titans. Picture a Scottish Terrier and you might think lapdog. But the moment they clamp down on a toy, you realize you're dealing with a canine built like a compact tank. Bred to chase and dispatch vermin underground, Scotties carry that history right in their jaws, and it shows. A squeaky toy that promises to be indestructible usually lasts about as long as a paper straw. One owner put it perfectly: "Scotties think they're bigger than they are, and they have huge German Shepherd teeth in a little Scottie body." However, this strength doesn't mean aggression. It's simply instinct paired with determination. That's why sturdy chew toys are a must, and why teaching a soft mouth early on is so important. A tug-of-war session can be loads of fun, but without boundaries, their enthusiasm can cross into chaos. The power isn't just physical either. Their confidence is pure, big dog energy, bold enough to take on the world from knee height. A Scottie proves daily that size isn't everything, but spirit, that's everything. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you'll probably love this video here, and if you hit subscribe, I'll donate a meal to a rescue dog on your behalf.